Well, New York City's Department of Education wants schools to stop using Zoom because of security concerns. Now, Zoom began offering its premium video conferencing service to schools for free during this pandemic, but hackers have been disrupting meetings. The DOE now wants schools to start using Microsoft Teams, which it says has the same capabilities as Zoom, but more security measures. Zoom CEO says his company will use the next 90 days to upgrade privacy and security.
Wednesday, a Madison teenager was arrested for allegedly hacking into an online class on Zoom. Officials say he was swearing and making obscene gestures. The teen is charged with computer crimes and breach of peace. Some towns are suspending Zoom classes due to hacker loopholes.
Hey everyone, Andy here. Now normally it's Sunday, you would expect to see an Andy Plays, but I'm uploading that tomorrow because we have to talk about something serious. And we're going to talk about Zoom. Now why am I talking about Zoom? Well, as you clearly saw with the introduction to this video, I played two news reports, one from my CBS affiliate here in New York, and another one from the ABC affiliate out in New Haven, Connecticut, talking about how hackers are making it a living hell for students and teachers using the Zoom platform to do online classes. This pretty much goes all over the internet. This started here on YouTube. I've been noticing all these videos, and I'm thinking to myself, these people are going to get in trouble, and they are going to deal with the law sooner or later. And unfortunately, the sad case is one of the YouTubers who I follow closely, I'm not going to say his name because he's under 18 and I don't want to get in trouble, obviously. He is in a lot of deep trouble, and I'll get to him and the other YouTuber involved in just a second, which again, they're both minors. So again, legally, I'm not allowed to give their names because, you know, they're under 18, and honestly, I've already gotten a copyright strike on this channel. I don't need 2 strikes on this channel. So trust me, I'm already in a lot of trouble with that philanthropist in New Jersey for the rant I did. But on all serious notes, this is going to be a different rant because I'm going to talk to you about what's been going on in New York City, how I've actually been using Zoom personally with my mom, believe it or not, and pretty much the teenagers who did something completely reckless. So we'll get to that in the end of the video. So first of all, New York City's response. They're doing the right thing by not using Zoom anymore because hackers have been saying very inappropriate things, racist, sexist, misogynistic stuff that is not honestly condoned in the classroom, let alone trying to get online classes done. And I've been hearing that these hackers go into the classes, they constantly go into a random class, they'll get a code, somebody will give them a code, or they'll just figure out a way to hack a server. They'll go in, and or maybe even find an IP address for all we know. They'll go in, and what will happen is they'll do inappropriate things. Like I said, some racist stuff was said. Very misogynistic and sexist things were said according to numerous online reports. And I'm glad the city of New York is not using Zoom anymore when it comes to public school classes, because right now it's a very complicated issue with Mayor de Blasio here in the city and Governor Cuomo, who is obviously the governor of my state, of course. They're bickering about, you know, Bill, you didn't have the authority to close the schools. I'm the governor. I make the decisions. So it's the terrible relationship between my governor and the mayor that could impact the whole school year. And I know this for a fact that my friends in Long Island, they're impacted. I have a couple of friends who still go to college. They don't know if they're going to go back. They're going to have to maybe figure out what to do in the next semester, see if their credits transfer. And I know that the city of New York is bickering with the state over the decision to close the schools. I understand that Mayor de Blasio tried to close the schools, but in all reality, you need clearance from the state government, aka Andrew Cuomo. So, you know, as far as online, they're saying go on Google Classroom, go on some Microsoft thing they were saying in the CBS report. But to be honest, Zoom is just not a safe place to use right now. They're claiming in the next 90 days they're going to figure out everything. Here's the problem: 90 days from now will be July. So keep that in mind. And by then, hopefully, we'll forget about this whole pandemic and we'll get back to normal. But for now, at least what I'm trying to say here is that the city of New York had to take security into consideration. They didn't want children being threatened or hurt emotionally. And, the bottom line is, the city of New York's trying to use secure ways to teach. And I know this week the kids have spring break, of course, because it was originally on the New York City school calendar, because, again, it sort of does collide with my mom's private school, which I'm not going to say what it is, of course. But it's been very tough couple of weeks trying to do online learning, and these hackers just don't understand that they will face serious consequences. And I will get to those teenagers in a second, because they were just being completely reckless in the first place. So, next thing we're going to get into, of course, is how I've been using Zoom, believe it or not, with my mom, because, as I just mentioned, my mom is in the educational system. She works for a private school here in Queens, and I'm not going to get into what school, obviously, she works for, but we've been using Zoom. It's been very stressful for her to get onto her classes because she is responsible for guiding the students along. There is a teacher, of course, in each class that she has on the Google Classroom. And these Google Classrooms do have Zoom links that teachers and college professors do as well, because there are college classes that have been getting impacted as well. And we'll get to that with the teenagers in just a second. But, I'm trying to help my mom out. Thankfully, we haven't been impacted on her school side, so that's a very good thing, because the last thing I need is to hear my mom complain, somebody hacked into this classroom, and then she would be ranting and raving, and, I have to try to calm my mom down about it. But all reality, at least from what I've been noticing, Zoom has been working, but I honestly prefer the Google Meet thing, because I find it so much easier to use than Zoom. It's just personal preference, I guess. Especially how Skype is easier to use, I guess, in a way. But point is, my mom has been taking advantage of it. She has been, of course, making sure that she can listen into the classes. She can send students work via email. That's what I mean by taking advantage, because she is a sets coordinator. Now, I'll get into that specifically because I am allowed to say that. So, sets. And if you Google sets right now, and you Google it, if my phone would even cooperate, SETS stands for Special Educational Teacher Support Services. Pretty much what my mom does is, she's normally in the classroom with the students at her school. And if they need help, she guides them along. And right now, what she's doing is taking advantage by going into the classes, listening to what the teacher is saying, and then she obviously has her lesson books. I have to scan documents. I mean, I have a scanner in my house, don't worry. I'm not going to say where it is. But we send it to the students, and they can print it out or figure out what to do with it, and then they complete the work. So, not all of it's really done on the classroom, but I will say that as each week goes along, I do learn positive things about these online courses, I guess. So, I'm just glad that we're not impacted on our end. So, that's good for now. But I really hope my mom's school is going to look into not using Zoom, because I just don't think it's safe to use, in my opinion. And I'll also mention that this upcoming Monday, which will be tomorrow, I'm supposed to be on a Zoom conference with my city councilman, who many of you know I have bad blood with, but he's supposed to be giving an update for my area, and I just hope that he's not going to nitpick and not talk about Fresh Meadows, because, again, I've constantly complained to him, and I'll quickly bring it up, that, two different Rush medals, which I don't want to get into in this video. So I hope I don't get impacted this week, because I really do need to use Zoom on Monday, because I know I'm not giving out the code to anybody. This is just for me and constituents in my area, of course. And I hope that the word got out about the virtual meeting. I know it's open to the public, but still, I don't want Rory getting interrupted and all of a sudden he's trying to make an important update about the virus for my area, and all of a sudden somebody gets in the meeting. And I'll quickly mention one last thing regarding MTA. They've been using GoToMeeting, and I prefer GoToMeeting because it's much easier to use, I think, than Zoom. And I know I'm supposed to use it next Thursday on the, I'm looking at the calendar, the 23rd. So I'm using it to speak to Andrew Albert next week, MTA board member, because there are urgent things that need to be addressed. So I won't get into that as well. And the last point I want to bring up is the two teens that are involved with hacking into Zoom classes. So I'm going to get into that right now. The first teenager involved was a teen from Connecticut, and he had a colleague who lives in Long Island, and this colleague actually is a YouTuber who I follow very closely. And again, I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to say who the teens are because they are under the age of 18. And again, if I say something, YouTube could find out, and then I get another copyright claim. So trust me, I don't want anything else to go wrong here. So what I am legally allowed to tell you, since it is out there in the record, so here are the crimes the teen in Connecticut was charged with. So first crime was computer crime 5th degree. The second was conspiracy to commit computer crime 5th degree. And the third one was breach of peace. So the third one makes complete sense because obviously you're interfering with a class. And from these YouTube videos I've been watching, him and the colleague in Long Island were interfering even with college classes. So you know how serious that is. Literally trying to disrespect a college professor, and then all of a sudden it's just degrading. And then I'll even mention the colleague in Long Island was on camera calling his own mom a derogatory name. On camera. On camera. So you know how bad things got out there in Long Island, let alone Connecticut, where the teen was. So I do have the videos offline because, again, stupid Spectrum with everything that buffers around this area, because there are a lot of people in my area constantly using the internet, so that can explain why my download speeds haven't been fine in this area. But the point I'm trying to make here is that we only know about the teen in Connecticut that was charged. It's out there. The other teen in Long Island, we don't know his circumstances. In fact, the teen in Long Island claimed he was going to make a video this week. So if I hear anything this week, I'll do a quick reaction. Because, again, I'm not going to show the video, obviously, for privacy reasons. And I had to edit this other part out because sound came from that video. So, again, I don't want to get claimed for copyright, of course. But this is very serious. And I just wish that, people would understand about making these videos. My message to them is just stop it. Because you are interfering with classes. You are interfering with the educational process. It's like trying to walk into a school and unauthorized permission, and all of a sudden you interfere with the class. Same thing pretty much. Except you're online, you're going into a session, and then all of a sudden, you're ruining everybody's learning experience. So, please, just stop doing it. I don't want to see my YouTube feed constantly cluttered with all these videos saying, going on the Zoom classes, hacking in the Zoom classes, doing crazy thing on Zoom classes. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. And what I'm shocked about was, how come I haven't seen any Animal Crossing videos? Because I keep hearing people talk about Animal Crossing, it seems. Randomly bringing that off topic. So, please, be smart. Don't make these videos. It's not like Omegle where, okay, you're not breaching anybody's peace. This is completely different. We are talking about somebody's education here. And keeping in mind, most school districts, the school year actually ends next month anyway. So just leave the kids alone. Leave them alone is what I'm saying. Let them learn. Don't go into their classes. And just let them be. Let them learn. All I'm saying. Right? So, that's my take on everything. And, if we do get an update from the other teenager in Long Island, I'll provide it because I'm sure it'll get out there eventually because this is becoming such a trending topic that you are going to hear more information about this. So, yeah, trust me, I will be doing that. Also, I'll mention one thing, that the live streams with the elected officials will still happen. So please keep your notifications turned on this channel. I'm still trying to get the super chat enabled, but the good news is the live streams on my phone, if I do need to stream on my YouTube app, they do work now. So I am going to be working with Google AdSense in the next couple of days to see if I can get the super chat enabled, because it looks like I'm going to be able to. I will be able to get some of the videos monetized. I mean, even though I won't be taking money out of it, if somehow this channel does become monetized, and I will go on the record and say this before I wrap this up. If I do get monetized, all of the videos that have been on this channel over the years, I will be putting back into this channel to provide the best content that I can once this virus is done. So, you have my word on that. Alright? So, with that being all said, thank you all for watching. Once again, if I do hear anything from the teen in Long Island, I'll keep you all posted because I'm sure something will come out this week, of course. So I'll do a reaction video to that. And once again, just please don't interfere with online classes. That's all I'm saying. Right? To the next one, please take care. And of course, since it is Easter Sunday, enjoy Easter Sunday. Bye, everyone.